Greetings. I'm Chris Anderson. I'm one of the staff team at Girl Scouts Heart of Michigan. And one of the days in April that means a lot to us here at gshom is Earth Day. And that's celebrated on April 22nd. This year, 2021, marks the 51st anniversary of the very first Earth Day. And during that very first Earth Day, 20 million Americans mobilized to call for increased protections for our planet. Then in 1990, Earth Day went global, and it was observed by 200 million people in 141 countries. And today, Earth Day is reported to be the largest secular observance, and that's kind of a non-holiday holiday, something like maybe Pi Day or talk like a Pirate Day. But in this case, Earth Day has a lot more people involved. In fact, it's now marked by more than 1 billion people as a day of action to change human behavior and create global, local, and national policy changes to protect our planet. So many of our Girl Scouts use Earth Day to take part in activities and events that focus on nurturing and protecting our planet that we thought this would be a great time to share an important project Heart of Michigan has invested in. Now, it's a project that's going to keep one of our beautiful camp properties a place where you and all future Girl Scouts will always be able to experience the natural world. Now, back in 2017, GSHOM began working in partnership with Michigan's Legacy Land Conservancy. And Legacy Land Conservancy is a community-based nonprofit, and they're dedicated to the permanent protection and care of land in Washtenaw and Jackson counties. We joined forces with Legacy Land Conservancy to permanently protect Camp of the Hills in Brooklyn, Michigan, and that, of course, is part of our Jackson region. Now, you might be wondering what permanently protecting Camp of the Hills means. We'll talk about that in a minute, but first, let's talk land and water. I'm sure you all know that clean, plentiful water is essential to all life. People need water for a wide range of activities, including drinking, cleaning, and farming, just to name a few. Water supports fish and other wildlife populations. It helps preserve vegetation like trees, grass, flowers, and plants. Fresh water means healthy, functioning ecosystems. So protecting water and making sure we have access to clean streams, rivers, and lakes means not only protecting those and other bodies of water, it means protecting the lands that border them. You might know, for example, that paved surfaces create a lot of water runoff, and that prevents rainwater from soaking into the ground and making its way back to streams, rivers, and lakes. Over time, that destroys the quality of water. It also destroys the health of wildlife. It also negatively affects local farming and water recreation. The potential for damage to the freshwater ecosystem at Camp of the Hills was an important factor in implementing the Permanent Protection Project. Camp of the Hills is nestled between frontage on two popular lakes, and it cares for 350 feet of shoreline on Timber Lake and 850 feet of shoreline on Wampler's Lake. Saving the remaining forest along those shorelines has meant not only protecting Timber and Wampler Lake's long-term water quality, it's also meant keeping Wampler's Lake as a hidden gem of a spot for largemouth bass and for fishing enthusiasts who are looking for a challenge. It's also preserved an important habitat for our friends like this. FYI, this is a painted turtle, and it's found throughout Michigan. Now you can get to know a bit more about this friendly little reptile and some of her friends at the Save the Turtles program at Camp of the Hills during June. So have your favorite adult check out the source for more information on this super popular event. Now, besides its water resources, Camp of the Hills has 70 acres of wetlands. Like forests and natural vegetation, wetlands also help with water quality. When runoff enters a wetlands area, it flows through very dense vegetation that naturally filters out things like insecticides that can pollute water. And because of the Permanent Protection Project at Camp of the Hills, GSHOM is able to permanently restrict development on natural areas of the camp property. Now that means areas like these wetlands will be safe for future generations of Girl Scouts. So to make this protection possible, GSHOM and Legacy Land Conservancy work together to raise funds for something called a conservation easement. Now that's a legal agreement between a private landowner like GSHOM and the Land Conservancy. The conservation easement limits the type and amount of development that can happen on Camp of the Hills property, not just for right now, but for years and years into the future. So, Camp of the Hills permanent protection is now truly permanent. Besides preserving the natural beauty and resources of the camp, the easement means that Camp of the Hills will remain a place where Girl Scouts, just like you, and their families and visitors can come to experience the natural world, and where girls can have fun, connect with their friends and the outdoors, and build skills to become tomorrow's leaders. For those of you who are looking forward to getting outside and safely connecting with your friends at camp this summer, we've got a special virtual video look at Camp of the Hills.
Welcome to Camp of the Hills, one of the 4 camps that we own here at Girl Scouts Heart of Michigan. This camp is located in the Irish Hills in Brooklyn, Michigan, just 30 minutes south of Jackson. This magnificent camp is just over 109 acres of beautiful nature to explore. From the hundreds of maple trees to the 2 lakes at this camp, there's so much to see and discover at Camp of the Hills. So come on this journey with me and explore and see what you can come out here and do with your troop or family. For our first stop, we're going to look at Timbers Lake. This lake is closed to the public and it is a no-wake zone for boats to travel on this lake. It's the perfect place to go fishing at any time of the year. You can catch a few bass and then even cook up a pan-fried dinner for everyone too. The Legacy Land Conservancy not only helps us protect nature at Camp of the Hills, but also helps us with our buildings here too. One of the more recent renovations is replacing the roof on the Nature Center building. In this building, girls can dive into STEM to observe nature and collect information about different frogs, insects, fish, and turtles in the area too. Next on our tour is the other lake at Camp of the Hills, which is Lake Wampler. This lake is where we observe the turtles during our Save the Turtles event happening in June that you can sign up for on gshom.org/events. This entire area will be cleaned up so you can see the trails and the nesting boxes can be used for the turtles. And the main reason that this program was created was so that we can help protect the turtles laying their eggs from other animals like foxes and make sure the baby turtles stay safe. During this program, girls will even get hands-on experience using gloves to pick up the eggs and move them to a better location. They might even get the opportunity to watch an egg hatch. Due to the water levels in other areas of this lake, this is the best location for turtles to climb on the boards and onto land to come and nest. Of course, there's lots to explore any time of the year out at camp. Whether you come during the winter time and sled down the hill from Juniper Knoll, or you come out in the springtime to tap our maple trees and make maple syrup, there's always something to do out at camp. And of course, there's lots of lodge accommodations with all the basic necessities that you would need to go camping overnight with your troop or family out at Camp of the Hills.
So thanks to Kate Sopchak, our sister Girl Scouts Heart of Michigan staff member, for giving us that great look at Camp of the Hills. And I am guessing that that short tour has you ready to pack your bags and your gear and head for Camp of the Hills. Now, one of the things you'll want to keep an eye out for at Camp of the Hills is a special plaque we're in the process of putting together. And this plaque is going to recognize all the folks and all the organizations that help make the permanent protection of the camp possible. Now, if you recognize a name on that plaque, make sure you say thanks the next time you're in contact with that person. And we'll start you off because we want to say thanks to the Consumers Energy Foundation, who helped us seal the deal on this important project with a gift of $26,300. Well, we hope our look at Camp of the Hills has inspired you to both help protect our planet on Earth Day and maybe earn a special Earth Day patch, or take a trip with your Girl Scout troop or your family to Camp of the Hills for a troop or family camp sampler adventure.
We hope you enjoyed learning more about Camp of the Hills and the Permanent Protection Project, and hopefully it's given you some inspiration for ideas that you can go do to nurture our planet this Earth Day. And if you want to come out and visit and stay the night, you can go to girlscoutcamp.org and check out what we have. Thanks so much for tuning in, and happy trails, friends!